I spent some time in Silicon Valley, and here's what I learned about the billion-dollar innovation culture there. So, we're talking about the likes of Apple, Google, and Meta, right? These tech giants have one thing in common. They all started out as small companies with big dreams. Apple was founded in 1976, Google in 1998, and Meta, which is Facebook's parent company, was founded in 2004. All three of these companies changed the way we live, work, and play. And they did it by solving real problems with innovative ideas. But it's not just about the billion-dollar idea. It's also about the billions of dollars that these companies have raised from venture capitalists. Venture capital is a type of investment that is typically high risk, but also has the potential for very high returns. VCs are looking for companies that are growing fast, disrupting industries, and have a strong team. If you can convince a VC that your company is worth investing in, then you can get the funding you need to take your business to the next level. And let's not forget about the ecosystem that supports all of this. In Silicon Valley, there is a dense network of mentors, advisors, and experts who are there to help entrepreneurs succeed. This includes things like incubators, accelerators, and co-working spaces. As an African entrepreneur, I was particularly interested in learning how all of this comes together to create billion-dollar companies. Here's what I found. First, there is a culture in Silicon Valley that embraces calculated risk. It's not uncommon for people to leave their stable jobs to pursue a risky startup idea. And even if they fail, they know that there are plenty of other opportunities out there. This is not a luxury that most Africans can afford. We tend to be risk-averse and prefer the safety of a 9-to-5 job. But if we want to create billion-dollar companies in Africa, then we need to start taking more risks and embracing failure as a learning opportunity. Second, I learned that venture capital is an important source of funding for startups. However, it's not easy to attract venture capital, especially in Africa, where there is still a lack of understanding of how it works. Most African entrepreneurs don't know how to pitch their businesses to investors or how to navigate the due diligence process. There are very few African startups that receive VC funding, and even then it is usually for a small amount. This needs to change if we want more billion-dollar companies in Africa. Third, I realized that the best way to succeed in Silicon Valley is to prioritize tech education and continuous learning. The pace of technological change is so rapid that you need to be constantly learning new things in order to keep up. This means not only keeping up with the latest trends and technologies, but also developing the skills you need to implement them. Finally, I learned that it takes a village to build a billion-dollar company. You need a supportive ecosystem of mentors, advisors, and experts to help you succeed. This is why it is so important to build a strong network and get involved in the local startup scene. So, what can African entrepreneurs learn from the USA's startup game? The biggest lesson I took away is that while risk is scary, it can also be incredibly rewarding. As African entrepreneurs, we need to be willing to take risks and embrace failure as part of the journey. With the right mindset, anything is possible,